Good day, Cas here, and I've been using the PSVR2 for a couple of weeks now, and while it was at it, I've been gathering some tips and tricks, shortcuts and little hacks that can really improve your gameplay experience. Watch this video to get the most out of your PSVR2. Thanks to Witmo for sponsoring a portion of this video. Let's get into it. Join me beyond reality. Let's start with making one of the best parts of the headset even better, the Sense controllers. Did you know that the wrist straps are self-tightening? That's right, simply pull on the strap like this to tighten it with one hand. Now to free my hands to do other things, I like to roll them up on my arms. I love that rolling them back into my hands is as easy. But some people might want to take this to the next level and make it like knuckle controllers. The benefit is that you can let them go without dropping them. Companies are probably already making accessories for this, but if you don't want to spend any money, there's a workaround with the current strap. To do this, you have to detach the strap by twisting it upwards. Don't twist too hard, it can break. Make the loop small and wrap the strap around the handle like this. Feed the connector through this loop and reconnect it by twisting it in the opposite direction. Make a hole in the loop and tighten it as much as you need and feed your hand in. That's it. Depending on your hand size, this may not work for everyone, but it works for my small hands and it's my preferred way of using the controllers now. You can even still roll them up on your arms and they will stay more in place. Kind of feels like a cowboy doing a quick draw. While we're at it, some of you might find it useful to remap the controller's buttons, but the settings for this are pretty hidden. You need to go to Settings, Accessibility, Controllers, Custom button assignments for PSVR2 Sense controllers, then enable it here and select Customize. It's nice because you can completely remap everything. Next, if you wear glasses in a VR headset, it can damage the lenses, so I don't recommend that. Instead, I suggest using prescription lens adapters. When choosing adapters for this headset, looking at those designed with eye tracking in mind is important because the sensors are right on the lenses. That brings us to the sponsor of this part of the video. Witmo VR makes these lens adapters and they just released PSVR2 versions. They aim to strike a balance between eye tracking and comfort, and I think they did a great job. They fit great, snap on and off easily, and they chose to cut out this part to make it more comfortable around the nose without reducing the field of view. It's excellent quality with lenses from Roden Stock, who has been making them since 1877. Witmo's experience in this market shows. We've used their adapters on other headsets for years and never had to replace them. If you don't wear glasses, you can also get the plain old non-prescription adapters to protect the headset's lenses. You get a 5% discount if you use our link below. It also gives us a small referral fee that helps support the channel. Now, another thing you should take care of is the cable. Having it connected to my PS5 while playing VR gives me huge anxiety that I will accidentally pull my console with disastrous outcomes. You can avoid that with a MagSafe connector. However, some people think this could damage the port, while others say it works if you get a good quality one. I'm personally not sure if I want to try that, so the next best solution is to get a cable extension. Then use clips like this one to anchor the extension cable. That way, the PSVR2 wire won't pull the PS5. You can wrap some electrical tape around it to make sure it doesn't slide in the clip too much. I'll put a few suggestions for cables and organizers in the description. Now we're almost ready to enter the oasis. First, get this, a floor mat, which is my recommended way to play VR in room scale. This is so you can feel with your feet if you're still standing within a safe distance from your walls or furniture. Cut one up yourself or buy one of these. This way, you can also set the boundary display sensitivity in the settings to low, so it doesn't appear too much, cause nothing is more distracting than having those virtual walls up all the time. This setting is accessible from Settings, Accessories, PSVR2, then Play Area. Finally, time to enter the Matrix. You might wonder which games to buy first. Well, an excellent place to start is with the free demos. It's a little bit hidden, so I'll link this page below for you. Two of my favorites are Song in the Smoke and recently Horizon. I also have a video full of my personal favorite PSVR2 games that you can check out. Once you install a game, try out this neat feature to start games. The PSVR2 supports the same voice commands as PS5, and it works very well since you now have a microphone right next to your mouth. You need to enable them first, so go to Settings, Voice Commands, Preview, and then enable the option. Then you can say, "Hey, PlayStation," to make it listen. You can use it to launch games or open specific settings pages. Unfortunately, it isn't very smart other than that, but hey, it's fun. It would also be fun if you like this video and subscribe for more content like this. Also, I need your support to keep making content, so thank you so much in advance. Now you have a game launched, so it might not feel quite right yet. Let me try to solve this for you too. You may have a partner, a friend, or even a pet you want to hear while playing games. If you use these earbuds, hearing anyone is hard. But there is a solution: turn on side tone. It's accessible from sound audio outputs. And this option allows you to hear other sounds in the room, as well as your own voice through the PSVR2 built-in microphone. If this setting is grayed out, then make sure to put on your PSVR2 headset first. Next, the pass-through view. The black and white footage of your real-life environment that is very helpful for quickly doing things. There's a shortcut, this function button below the headset. You can change this button to mute microphone in Settings, Accessories, PlayStation VR2, VR headset section, function button assignment. Could be helpful if you play a lot of multiplayer games. You can still quickly access the pass-through view in the quick settings, then view surroundings. While we're here, let's take note of some settings. You can access this quick settings menu fast by double tapping the controller's PlayStation button. If you're getting a lot of that high persistence motion blur I discussed in my full review, you can decrease the brightness to make that better right here at the top. You can also find the adjust visibility menu here. This is one of the most important settings because if the visuals aren't sharp for you, you must ensure this calibration is done right. Your eyes need to be in the dead center of these holes. Use the IPD slider to adjust the distance between the lenses, then adjust the strap until your headset sits in that spot where your eyes are in the perfect middle. An excellent way to measure if you've done it right is to go in the pass-through mode, and if the text on the pop-up is sharp to you, then you're good to go. In these past weeks, I tend to return to this menu every so often, even during gaming, because like it or not, the sweet spot is small, but I am happy Sony made adjusting it easy. Now, if you have found that sharp center, the headset might have to be very tight and it might get uncomfortable. Unfortunately, that's the case for me. What you can do about it are these comfort hacks. If the headset is front heavy, you can add counterweights. Some people are crafty and make holders of Velcro straps for power banks. You can also use Velcro to add a top strap. For example, these Quest 1 straps by Studio Form work on the PSVR2. I mean, it looks ugly as but who cares if it's comfier. Okay, the controller's headset and audio experience are now better. At least I hope, but there's one more thing. Tracking. If you find yourself losing tracking every so often, look at your room. The cameras on the headset need something to see to know where it's positioned. It won't be able to do that if you're playing in a room with 4 walls of just one color. To help with that, it helps to hang posters or have some furniture in the room. Not a mirror, as that could mess up the tracking. Tracking works best in a normally lit room, so it isn't great in a very dark or very bright room. So make sure to close your curtains and turn your lamp on instead. A TV with reflection and moving images can also mess up the tracking. It helps to turn on tracking support, which will use your TV as a tracking marker. To enable that, go to Settings, Accessories, PlayStation VR2, tracking support, and turn the option on. Also, please make sure your headset's cameras are clean. After an intense VR game, you might want some rest. The PSVR2 can then also be used to consume content. You can say as a TV replacement. Sony calls this cinematic mode. But by default, the two benefits of the display, 120Hz and HDR, are not turned on. It is automatically enabled in VR, but if you want to use it in cinematic mode, you must go to Settings, Accessories, PlayStation VR2, Cinematic mode, then select Video Output for Cinematic mode, and then you'll find the option for both 120Hz output and HDR. If this is grayed out, you have to go to Settings, Screen and Video, Video Output, and then disable 120Hz output first. When you're finally satisfied playing games, it's time to store the headset in a cozy place. You can tuck in the earbuds in these little holes so it doesn't tangle around, catching dust. Make sure they can't catch any sunlight because that can damage the lenses. The best way is to store the headset in a box with a closed lid. You can even use the original box for that. Now, funny enough, my last tip is also about storage space, but now I mean the internal one for installing games. You might not have enough space anymore, which happened to me, so a tip is to upgrade your PS5 storage by installing an internal SSD. I thought about using an external SSD, but I like having a clean setup without any cables hanging around. And Sony made this super easy to do, anyone can do it. I followed their guide and I was done in like 5 minutes. I'll link it below and also which SSD I'm using in case you're looking for one. There you have it, some essential tips and hacks for getting the most out of your PSVR2. Remember, VR gaming is all about immersion and having fun, but it's also personal, so don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for you. Let me know if there are any tips I've missed. I'm always looking for more, and if you want to learn more about the PSVR2, check out this one right here. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my champs for helping this channel stay alive. Please subscribe for more, and VR on.